is he's going to give it 5 seconds and he's going to stop it and then you're going to say something.
Yeah. Then you're like, oh, give it 10 seconds.
Well, I'd always chopping them because for sure, like the last episode I think that we released was your Thinking Outside the Longbox, and I know for sure that was way longer in person.
You must have been drinking High Life at that point.
No.
We're live, by the way.
Oh.
I might have been.
Hey,
High
YouTube.
Life.
Hey, podcasters. This is Gabe.
Up to?
I'm Juan.
And you're listening to Thinking Outside the Longbox, motherfuckers.
I think you said you all know. It's more like 10 episodes now,
Yeah.
aren't we?
Who cares?
Fuck it.
Save it for the live episode.
I'm trying to give YouTube some
Yeah.
Yeah, what's up,
razzle-dazzle,
YouTube?
Hi,
A
YouTube.
little bit of razzle-dazzle.
motherfucker. Yelling at me for it, though. You're trying to dazzle on the razzle, man.
He's trying to get that razzed all dazzed up.
Ooh.
Sounds like over.
Razzle-dazzle.
Yeah, always.
The Blob is an
The Blob.
independently made 1958 American science fiction horror film in widescreen color by Deluxe.
Technicolor.
Produced by Jack H. Harris, directed by Irvin Yaworth, and written by Kay Lineker and Theodore Simpson. The film stars Steve McQueen
As a teenager.
and Annetta Corsaut,
Also as a teenager.
and
What?
co-stars Earl Rowe and Olin Howland. The Blob was distributed by Paramount Pictures as a double feature with I Married a Monster from Outer Space. The storyline concerns a growing corrosive alien amoeboidal I don't know. Entity that crashes to Earth from outer space inside a meteorite. It devours and dissolves citizens in the small communities of Phoenixville and Downington, PA, growing larger, redder, and more aggressive each time it does so, eventually becoming larger than a building.
There's no way that that's not a multi-cell organism. I'm just saying.
I don't know.
Like an amoeba implies that it's like a single cell organism. That makes no kind of sense. That thing's fucking huge and it consumes stuff.
Yeah.
Like it's definitely a multi. That sounds stupid. But anyways, other than that,
1951 science.
No, 58.
58. This one's 58.
Maybe they just dropped the ball.
They don't.
They forgot.
Side note, pre-1978 copyright law, this would have been public domain now. Post-1978, in 2015, as of 2015, we still have to wait 39 years.
Dead.
Which, you'll be dead by that point.
Ooh, let's see.
Are we
Not
sure?
necessarily.
You'll be dead.
Game will live forever.
No, you'll be dead.
Technology will freeze me.
Just your head, like
Yeah.
Futurama.
Oh,
Yeah.
and then I can have a robot body? Fuck yes. Sold.
Can finally
Will-
be a dwarf giant.
Will the robot body be fat too?
Yeah. I'll be like, oh man, packing on the pounds. And
You're
like,
all-
you're a robot. You can be any size you want. Go fuck
No,
yourself.
that's our punishment in this
I'm
life
just
too.
big geared.
I'm
That's our-
big geared.
That's our punishment in the afterlife,
Got
bro.
fat wires.
You're like, yeah, I'm a robot. No, I'm still fat.
Got a little cholesterol in your wires.
Too much grease.
I'm been sucking down too much of that 10W60.
So what's 39 years from 2015?
39 years from 2015 is
29, 39,
54.
45, 54. Yep.
2054.
That's when.
That is a long fucking time from now.
That's
That
when
sounds
it'll
like a
be.
science fiction movie number.
In
But
2054.
it's definitely a date that my daughter will live to see.
Yeah,
I mean,
hopefully.
unless, like, the Earth fucking blows itself up. So, let's talk about the Blob.
I hated this movie.
This is the first one that's in color.
I had a feeling you would.
So, Tim's dad has some things to say about it.
Oh.
I told my dad we were watching it, and he had some things to say about
Oh.
it. My dad, he didn't say much, but he said something really...
Oh, yeah, I like the Blob.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. he
That
said
is good.
he said something really similar to Tim's dad.
She's laying next
that
to
it
me.
was that it was scary. Okay, this
Poor mom.
at no point in
She
this
puts up with a lot already, man.
at no point in this movie was I scared. So
No, I wasn't scared.
there's nothing.
How
scary
old?
about this
58. How old was your dad in 58 though?
movie. Like a kid,
Was he?
So,
teenager probably.
yeah, so it looks like my dad pretty much the same story. He saw it with a bunch of his friends when he was 11, and it apparently scared the shit out of him. I guess what made matters worse is that his walk home from the theater went between two abandoned cemeteries. And he
I'm sorry. Gabe can't swallow today.
That one's for the audio pod. Fuck Gabe spilling beer all over himself.
Did you finish?
I think I did.
Okay.
I always finish.
So your dad was scared as well.
Yeah, he was scared the shit out of him. Apparently this movie cost him 25 cents to watch when he was a kid.
Wow, a whole quarter. It was made for $110,000 and it made $4 million. A lot of money for a 1958 film.
It was a massive hit when it came out.
Good lord. The fucking songs. I think it got merchandise too a little bit back then, which was not super common.
So this is the thing about the Blob. If it's meant to be scary, that theme song sets the wrong tone.
Oh, sure. It's the Blob.
It's so stupid that like the first time you hear it,
Yeah.
it set my mind up to laugh, not to be scared.
And we ended up laughing
A
quite
lot.
a bit.
This quickly became like a MST3K for Tim and Mel and I.
Yeah.
Just mocking the movie. And it all started with teenager Steve McQueen, who was clearly in his fucking 30s. Like,
Yeah.
that dude has gray hair.
I'm gonna go find the other ones. This is a 60% critic score, 56% audience score. So they're kind of on the
Tomatoes?
fence about it, yeah.
I don't hate this movie. I think it's a really, really fun movie. I think it's a really good introduction for kids to like horror movies and like science fiction movies because it's a little creepy, but it's not like ever scary. You know what I'm saying? Like the scene, probably
It's
the
about as
scariest,
scary as Flubber.
Yeah, the scariest scene in it is when they're like trapped in the grocery store. That's like the closest thing. And that's like, might be intense for like an 8 or 9 year old, but not for anybody else. Like, it's a fun movie to, like, I think I've watched this with all of the kids when they were like 6 or 7, and they were all like, wow, that was cool. And then if they watched it today, they'd be like, why the fuck do you make me watch this?
Yeah, like, if I took that home to like Kenny and Tristan, like,
They'd be
this
upset
is
with you.
Really boring.
Yeah.
No, they'd just leave the room and it would be me watching it and Felicia.
That's because they bitches.
The Thing from Another World had an 89% critic score and a 73% audience score, which fucking baffles
What
me.
the absolute
Yeah,
fuck?
it baffles the shit out of me.
So it's got a
So if you're-
58 on Metacritic and a 6.4 out of 10 on IMDb.
So if you're curious why we're talking about some other movies and you missed the last couple of episodes, either on YouTube or on our podcast, be sure to go check out the last 2 episodes where we talked about The Day the Earth Stood Still and Thing from Another World, as we kind of like talk about and explore 50 science fiction movies, largely because Tim's dad was into it.
Yeah.
Like, he wanted us to watch The Blob, and
You're out
we-
there somewhere, Sped.
we went
We know you are.
we went balls deep. Did you just flip his dad off?
I think so.
That's fair. That's fair.
1951, The Day the Earth Stood Still, 95% critic score, 87% audience score.
That's
That's a high critic
alright,
score.
So I wanted to
I
do
guarantee
this.
you it's Criterion Collection. I guarantee you there's like a, you know.
So what do you guys think about this rating? So Google users have the Blob rated at an 83%. That's the highest out of literally anyone. What do you think the differences between like potentially a modern viewing audience versus like critics and probably older people that probably voted on Rotten Tomatoes?
So I think more than anything, this movie is really fun. Like it's funny. It's easy to poke fun at.
It's got Steve McQueen in it.
It's got
Yeah.
Steve McQueen driving a car backwards.
Yeah, a lot of people loved Steve McQueen.
Like, I think there's a lot going for this movie that makes it really awesome to view as a group.
Yeah.
And I think if you were like in a theater with like 50 of your best friends, this movie would fucking tear it up because people would be yelling at the screen,
Oh,
people
for
would
sure.
be laughing and having fun.
This
Yeah.
would be a good Alamo draft house movie.
Yeah, this is the kind
Panties would be dropping for Steve McQueen.
Oh, for sure.
For sure.
For sure.
You see all those granny panties flying
Like, it's just the kind of thing that's like enjoyable to watch, and you have to put absolutely no work into enjoying it. Like,
Yeah,
it's
no,
just, it's dumb, it's funny, it has little to no plot other than there is a blob eating people and the cops don't believe kids.
Yeah.
Like, it's...
Like, well, said the doctor was dead, so I guess we have to go check it out.
I
The
just
rest of
like-
them were completely
I
ready
like
to
that
blow it off.
I like the one cop is literally telling the chief, just ignore it.
Yeah.
Just ignore them. Like, they're telling you someone got murdered. Don't ignore that. Like,
Don't.
I don't know. This
do
movie's
you
fun to
think-
me.
Reading really, really deep into this, that this is a commentary on climate change?
It could be.
Because at the very end, they drop it in the ice,
Yeah.
and he's
Is
like,
this something you
only
just
if
read?
it stays cold. I read, yeah, something similar to it.
So the sequel to The Blob, also called The Blob, that came out in like the 80s, and Tim brought up...
Is it a sequel, not a remake?
Well, Tim brought up that
Supposedly
it's
it's a sequel.
a direct sequel, and I looked it up last night, and it said the same thing. And that's what it's based on, is the Blob escapes from the Arctic.
Except in the sequel, it's pink.
Yeah. And belongs to like a very niche version of horror movies that's called like melt like horror. It's like movies like The Blob and Street Trash and stuff like that, where dudes like eat things or get melted by stuff just for like the gross out factor.
So for me, this was the worst of the 3 movies we watched. I liked it less than I liked The Thing.
That's weird to me. I like this a lot more than I like The Thing.
For sure.
And I think a big part of it was just watching it with Mel and Tim and just poking fun at it
Right.
through the whole movie.
Should
I
have come
could-
over last night. You might have actually enjoyed the film.
I could see how sitting and watching this by myself, I would definitely think to myself, why the fuck am I watching this? Like,
Yeah.
And then you'd be like, fuck Juan.
That's,
yeah. Yeah.
that's kind of the feeling most of the time anyway. No, the movie is like, it's another like awkwardly paced 50s sci-fi. It's got a lot of drag in some parts that
Yes.
make you really want to skip ahead, but you can't because you might miss something actually important.
You
So,
won't. You
yeah.
can skip to where you start seeing the Blob all the time. let me synopsize the...
Synthesize?
Here's the beginning where you meet Steve McQueen. There's a cool 30 minutes where the plot is cops don't believe the kids try to find the Blob. Like that you can skip that whole part because that is literally all that happens.
It's like the proto Stranger Things for a minute.
Yeah, where they're just running.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
That's it. They're running.
So,
Running around.
Wikipedia says that the sequel, Beware the Blob, was made in 72, and that the 88 version is a remake. That's what Wikipedia says.
Maybe the 80s movie is a remake of the sequel. Because they're both supposed to be sequels.
It just says, in 1998, a remake with the same name was made by and directed by Chuck Russell.
Huh. I read a different article.
That's just what Wikipedia
Yeah.
says, not an article, so who fucking knows?
Well,
Who knows what the truth is?
the truth.
But Beware the Blob was supposedly the sequel from in 1972.
There's literally no such thing as truth. Just say whatever.
You can find whatever answer you're looking for.
Yeah.
on the internet.
Yeah.
Fucking Google.
Fucking masks are fake.
Let's not get there yet. Let's
No,
not
I'm
get
just
there
saying
yet.
they're completely fake.
The masks are fake? I'm not
Masks are
even
fake.
wearing a real mask?
Well, they're-
Oh, fuck.
It's your imagination.
I'm just gonna come out and say it. Fuck.
Fuck!
Oh my god.
Fuck do I boy!
Little stove. Fuck
Do we need to
you,
put the beer away?
Frank Brownlee. How about that?
It's Matt.
Matt.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Matt. Then whoever. You were so unimportant. I forgot your name.
I did make a video. It was fun.
You did?
Yeah, maybe it didn't post or something. I don't know.
I didn't see the video.
Oh, I made it on Saturday night.
Oh, I didn't see a video
That
either.
was
Oh,
yesterday.
it must not have posted. Friday night.
Bummer.
Oh. Yeah, didn't post.
This guy's the new comedian. We gotta milk the shit out of this guy.
So, going back to the Blob,
Milk you.
like, this movie is just, it's the thing. It's just a monster movie. There's not much to it. Like, I'm sure there's ways that you could read some kind of, like, social commentary into it, you know. Like you said, is it about global warming? Is it about the relentless spread of communism? You know, it is red. You know, that kind of bullshit. Like, but really, this is just some kids trying to save their town.
Does this...
How do they get access to the air raid siren? That's what I want to know.
They're kids, bro. They're mischievous.
Yeah, because they never show that. They're just like, oh, let's go do.
They're
We
like,
gotta go do a thing.
we gotta go wake everybody up, and next thing you know, the air raid siren is playing. That scene is funny too.
Yeah.
Where the old guy runs in to get a civil air patrol uniform, and then like the fire alarm starts going off. He's like, "Oh god damn, there's a fire too!" And he runs back in. He comes out with both helmets. He's like, "Which one do I wear?" Like that was pretty funny to me.
So, I don't think this kind of movie works anymore. An ominous blob.
Wrong.
So I think what it's converted to, or what it has converted to, is an infection movie. Where it spreads relentlessly and there's not much you can do about it. But a big blob on the screen, I just don't think works, and it's not scary.
I think it could be made scary, like, but it would have to be done different. It'd have to be done more like The Stuff or something. But it would definitely have to be some kind of infection thing, or like people exploding or something like that. Like,
they touch it and then poof.
Yeah.
I mean, the
They
monster.
go aerosol.
What was it? Season 3 of Stranger Things was kind of the same thing. It's like this weird gelatinous
Cube.
monster that is like eating people in the town.
Like, I think it can be done.
I don't know. Like,
It's just the idea of like a giant blob of jelly rolling around a town. That's not scary because there's definitely moments where you're just like, just go around it. Like, what is your problem? That little kid that gets them trapped in the thing, like, all the drama of the end of that movie is because that little kid's a piece of shit. Like, your parents and your sister told you to stay at home. Stay the fuck at home, dumbass. Like, I don't know.
Who knows?
But I think it can
I'm giving
work.
it a -1 stars.
Oof.
wow.
I'm just kidding.
Damn.
About a 15% is
15%.
Hate and anger, yes.
We're doing percentages today. That's interesting.
Well, I can't represent a 15% in a thumb.
Yeah, you can. It's like this much thumb. I believe a 15% is a thumbs down.
Yeah.
How about you, Tim? What do you give it?
I found it amusing, but I think, I'd have to agree with Juan. I think if I was watching it by myself, I'd be like, this is so stupid.
Yeah,
He would 100% do
But
that.
because
we all
watched
would.
it together,
Yeah.
like, it's way better with company.
So, this is my thing.
Misery does love company.
For sure.
4 stars if you're watching it with a group of friends.
I can get behind that.
2 stars if you're watching it by yourself. Like, if you're watching this movie by yourself, you will constantly question, why am I watching this movie?
It's like watching Napoleon Dynamite by yourself.
Yes, not funny at all. Unless you're with your friends who also love Napoleon Dynamite.
Yeah.
Like, I love Napoleon Dynamite, you love Napoleon Dynamite, you love Napoleon Dynamite, but we would all have to sit together and watch it for it to be entertaining. If it was our pop culture classic, we would all come back and be like, why did I like this movie?
Who picked this?
Fuck you, Tim. No.
Yelling at me again.
Hey, I'm Doyle. I give it a 1 jelly donut out of 5.
Oh, you don't think he liked it?
I have no fucking idea. I feel like this is a movie he doesn't.
Here,
really
I'm gonna do Doyle. I'm going to do Doyle. I'm gonna give this one 3 out of 6.
You kind of sound like Edgar.
Like
You're in an Edgar suit.
Oh. I need sugar. That is like, to this day, one of the most unsettling and uncomfortable depictions of a creature on screen. Like, the Edgar, like the dude in the Edgar suit, for some reason, just grosses me out. Like, it's just nasty and freaky, and Vincent D'Onofrio is a fucking genius actor.
Such a good actor.
Clearly something is broken in it.
Bad movie? Like, are there any movies he's in that are not?
Here's the thing.
No.
I think even if there was, I think he would shine through.
Yeah.
In The Cell, or I think we all like The Cell, But I think a lot of people came into like, fuck Jennifer Lopez, but Vincent D'Onofrio's depiction in that is just amazing, and she just does a really good job.
So it was really funny. We were watching Don't. It's like a game show on ABC where you have to like not do things, and a lot of the time it revolves around trivia. And one of the trivia questions was which singer had a hit album and a hit movie come out the same week? Was it Jennifer Lopez or Mariah Carey? I was like, shit, that's Jennifer Lopez. We like literally just talked about that shit.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It was funny.
I don't think Mariah Carey put in any hit movies. She might be in a movie.
I think she's in a movie.
I'm sure she's in movies.
Or maybe it was Britney Spears or something. I don't know.
She's not in movies. Oh,
It was
she's
some-
in some chick flicks, actually, now that I say that. Britney Spears is.
Yeah.
I don't really watch those kind of movies, so.
Alright, cool. Well, check us out.
Alright, well, be sure to check us out at TOTLB.com. That's where you can find all of our social media connections. Find us on Patreon at
Thanks to
patreon.com.
two dads for giving us input.
Oh, yeah. Thanks, Dad. Your dad gave more input. My dad was mostly like, yeah, it's a good movie.
I like how he chickened out, though. Like, look, come on the show!
I tried so hard to get him on the show,
it
man.
wasn't really my idea,
He
he
got cold feet. He got cold feet.
You got that cold penis.
You're more than welcome to come on the show whenever you want, Tim's dad.
Yeah.
Just not next time.
Yeah, you're grounded for a month. No, just kidding.
You're grounded. In 100 years, we'll meet you right here.
Grounded for a month. So that's
guard.
4 episodes. Don't go anywhere.
Anyway, check us out, patreon.com/TOTLB. Give us some support. We really appreciate it. And Patreon supporters, we really appreciate you. I'm making videos this week, for sure.
Oh, good time.
Yo.
I didn't have time to do any of the other ones, but I did the day the Earth stood still. I gave them my first thoughts before I came out here. So.
Nice. Oh, that's a cool idea. I've been thinking about doing like commentary,
Oh.
like putting the camera on myself while I watch something. So
I like
I
that.
might do something like
I
that.
like that.
I might do something like
But
that.
if
this
it's
week.
like your video that went on Friday, we'd never see it.
Yeah, that kind of bugs me out. I felt like I talked.
Yeah, I made a video.
Yeah, you did?
Hey, I'm doing a video, guys. I was very high. It might be a deleted.
You might not have seen it though. It's pretty underground.
Oh man, speaking of underground,
Made it via my VHS.
I used to know this guy that was like so into midgets that he would actually like dig up the corpses of midgets, stab his way with them. Jesus, that dude's Michael Kirk.
Hey, he's got a little dirt on him.
Ooh. This one was awkward. Be sure to call the Michael Kirk Memorial Hotline, 970-573-6148. I promise you, Michael Kirk never slept with the corpse of a midget.
No,
Blink, blink.
never.
That never
happened. With that said, I've been Gabe.
I'm Tim.
I'm Juan.
And Michael Kirk definitely fucks with corpses and midgets.
Bye, YouTube.